Alright guys, so today's early morning, Saturday here. This is actually the first day of hot import nights, but we're going to start the day off by doing something cool. We're going to take this over to a buddy's place, get the diff welded up, so let's go.
Now comes the fun part. Ugh. Dude, smell inside that thing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It smells like burnt cat. Yeah.
Yep, that's the next part. Pressure wash the crap out of it.
Is it a lot lighter now that you took the 2 pound? Now that you took the 2 pound
of fluid does not make a difference. No, it's still heavy.
I don't think this thing's ever been so clean. Alright, so what are you doing?
I am measuring to cut a plate.
So just like a solid plate that's curved?
Yep, and then we'll put the radius of the gears to match this radius of these gears. So that way you have the most surface touch-in.
Alright, let's check out the plates you made. So what can we give them for reference? What do I got here? I got an iPhone 5C. So I'm going to say just a little bit wider. And then a 5C. And pretty much half the length up the phone. So that gives you an idea. We'll put it up so give you guys the measurements here. You're looking at about 2.5 inches long and just about 1.25 inches wide. So again, you guys are going to need 2 of these plates, and you just want to put a small bend to it, make it a little concave to fit on the inside of the gears here. Actually, I'll show you guys right now. That little guy is going to fit something like that right in there, and then Sebastian's going to go around. First he's going to weld all the corners. First he's going to go through and weld all the corners, and then we're gonna rotate the diff assembly, spin it around to the other side. We're going to weld the 4 corners again, and then to make sure this thing's never going to break, we're going to drop in the plates and then weld the whole way around this. Is that about right?
Yep. kind of excited for my first time welding.
Oh god.
What are you worried about? You said this was a spare.
The first thing I do when I turn the camera on, you drop the glove.
Alright, let me see how the welder's working.
All right, so what are we looking at? Show us the difference real quick.
So this one you can see there's a lot of undercutting in it. So I brought my voltage up a little. You still get a little undercutting on the back side. So then I raised it some more, and then that's what you're looking for right there.
So by raising the voltage, it
Yep.
better melts the two metals together?
Yep. So that way you get a good flow through both metals. And that's why I made 3 passes, because my first one wasn't good, my second one was better, and then my third one was what I wanted.
So
that wasn't my first
yeah,
one,
I don't know anything about welding really, so I'm just gonna take a guess. This one kind of looks blobby.
Yep.
And it doesn't really look, it kind of looks like it's like glue stuck to the surface.
So what that is your wire speed isn't right for your voltage. So you're pushing more wire than your voltage is melting into
I gotcha.
that. So it's the wire's like bubbling up on top of it.
All right, and then the second one kind of looks like
you can see how it's flatter,
yeah,
and it's wider than this. You can see how round this is.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is the wire's just building up on top of it because it's not penetrating in. This one I turned the voltage up and left the wire speed the same, and it started digging in more.
Yeah,
and you can see how flat this one is.
Yeah, so like that. So this one I would say is just kind of like a glob on top, and then this one almost looks like glue, like a melted glue. There's really nothing to it. And then this one you can actually see it's got like layering. So like if you think of like TIG is.
You can see these rings.
Yeah.
That's what you like to see because that's weld overlapping the weld. So that's where you get your strength from.
Sweet. All right, so do that in there.
Oh man, here we go, I guess.
All right, it's all done. Thanks, dude.
So that's what it's gonna look like so far. That's what you want all the way down your piece.
That's awesome. So a question for you. So to get a weld like that, do you have to use whatever that thing is, acetylene MIG welder? I mean, can somebody do something similar to this at home with like a Harbor Freight MIG welder, or
no? Just you pay for what you get. So if you have a $100 welder, you're gonna get $100 welds. If you have a $5,000 welder, you get $5,000 welds.
So it's just like a Harbor Freight tool wouldn't have enough voltage to actually like.
So that's the thing, is your duty cycle is what you want. You want to be able to have the penetrating power. So the bigger welder, the more penetrating power you can get. So that's what you're looking for.
Cool.
So you can do this with a smaller welder. It just, who knows how long it will last. So.
Better than putting JB Weld in there, right?
Anything's better than JP Weld. So that one's all done. So the hardest part is finding ways to get in here.
And again, we're starting off just doing the corners, right? So we like evenly dissipate the heat built up in here. See that? It looks awesome.
So.
Oh, we're gonna make skids.
And the other thing is that I'm doing is your gears don't perfectly match up, so you'll have like you'll have a gap in between them.
Yeah.
So I've been backfilling that gear so that it's solid. It's not just a bridge across these gears. It's actually solid behind it. So I'll backfill all of that, and then I'll bridge across those gears. So it's not like hollow behind it. That's all the way welded all the way down to your gear.
See, that's awesome. So you're just adding like multiple layers.
Yeah, so the chances of that failing are really low. And then when you put that piece across, it's...
Yeah, so when we add that metal plate on there, it's going to be
that's just
stronger.
Because you could run it just like this, and you don't need it. But for what you're doing, the plate's the way to go.
That's awesome. So technically, like, even though it's not done, this is a welded diff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you could throw that in your car right now and you'd have a lock rear end.
Nice.
So. I'm surprised how well it's actually penetrating into this metal. It's fantastic. I love welding this. It is good metal to weld.
And I guess just to explain what we did, so now if we look in there, you can see that the corners are no longer welded. That's because this is the back half of the differential. So if we take the whole diff, so as we spin the diff, you can see the whole innards rotate. And if Sebastian spins this thing the whole way around, now we're back to the side that he welded. So we're going to weld this one side, and then we're going to spin the diff. And now we're going to weld the second side, and then we're going to, like Sebastian said, we're going to plate both sides of the diff too. So this thing's going to be incredibly strong. So you think my 100 horsepower straight 6 motor is going to destroy this thing, or what?
It might grenade it.
Yeah. Too much power.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder if this is what Chem Block does.
Oh, Chem Block does this for sure.
Yeah.
Right here you can still see the top of the teeth, whereas that one you can't.
Yeah.
So that's the first pass, and then you're going to go over it again.
Yeah, to weld everything together.
Alright, so we got 4 corners, 8 welds per corner plus the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be alright. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Now you can't see the top of the teeth there.
Yeah. I got what you're saying.
No, not to say your welding's bad, but that's way better than I thought I could get.
That's what most people say. They don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm nervous. This is my differential.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Alright, so now we got the plate going in there, right?
Yep.
So you're going to hold it in place with a magnet and tack it on?
Yep. So I just put one tack.
Just to hold it in place. Now you're going to go around it?
Now I can weld on the other side of it. Different directions.
So like if you just weld for too long, you put too much
Like if
heat.
I just put one weld here and I didn't do anything on the other side and I welded this whole side, this side would bow up and then it wouldn't line up the way I wanted. So I have that piece of steel the way I want, so I tacked it all the way around, so that thing's not going to move when I start adding a lot of heat to these other gears.
Gotcha.
So
Let's do it.
now comes the fun part.
All right, so it's all done, and what are you doing?
Just trying to get all the extra slag off that doesn't need to be in there, and
So
trying
like
to clean it up a little. So
any loose pieces of metal that are floating around that
yeah, that don't get in the gears. And,
blow it up.
yeah, you don't want stuff in there.
And I could blame it on your poor welding.
Yep.
So that is a welded diff, huh?
That is it.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna do now, we're gonna clean it out.
Now we gotta let it cool down enough where we
Oh yeah,
can
where's that?
spray it with water.
Where's that cool little guy here? We got a digital thermometer here. Shoot the ground. What's the ground at right now? Ground's at 80 degrees. What is that for you guys? 27 Celsius? Let's see. Oh shit, one-handed. Here we go. So yeah, 250 degrees. Let me get almost 120 Celsius. So what would happen if we just went to cool this thing down now and poured a bunch of water in it?
It would crack.
Yeah. All right, well I guess we'll wait a second for this to cool down. Then we'll hose this thing out, we'll get it all cleaned up and flush out any more of this loose slag.
And then we're going to watch drift racers.
Then we're going to see some drifting. We're gonna watch some drifting and yeah, I'm gonna talk to all the guys that have already welded their diffs out there and see what kind of difference it made. Hopefully bump into Dimitri again and got some new cameras to hook up on his car, get you guys some good video of that craziness. So let's hurry up and let this thing cool, and then we're gonna clean it out, and then it's off to hot import nights. So here's the crazy thing we were just talking about. I don't know if you zoom in there. It's just how much magnetic material is built up on the top of that speedometer sensor. That's crazy. All right, so seriously, we got to talk about whatever this thing is. So this thing superheats the water with what? Propane or something?
Diesel fuel.
Diesel fuel. So the second you pull the trigger there, it superheats the water. So what? It's easier to take off grease and stuff.
Yeah, it takes off grease, oil, stuff like that.
That's pretty ridiculous. That's crazy though. Look. This thing's like perfectly clean though. That's crazy. A little bit closer and hopefully get you guys some good videos, so let's go check it out.